Hello everyone, this is Josh Burnett, and on this video we're going to talk about how to create a weekly e-newsletter using ParentSquare that everyone loves to read. So once you sign into your ParentSquare account, everyone's looks a little bit different depending on your building and the different permissions that you have, but you will sign in using your Google single user sign-in, and then we'll go to Home. And then we will go to under Communicate Posts. And then you will go to a new post. And then eventually we'll get into who we're sending this to and what it's all about. But we're going to go straight into the design part. And so I've already downloaded the graphics that I created in Canva, which hopefully you can watch another video about how to create great graphics on Canva. And so I'm going to go ahead and insert. You can either do this right here, the plus sign, or if you have an image, you can do it up here. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick insert though. And I like to have a header that is branded. And so this specific graphic is 1600 by 400. And I know that because I've done it quite a few times. But if you look here at More Rich, you can have different design blocks that you use. And what I selected was this image. And so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that it covers the full width of my canvas here. I'll delete that. And the reason that I like to fill it across is because people are viewing this e-newsletter either on their computer or on some type of mobile device. Definitely over 80% of people are using their mobile devices to read our e-newsletter. And so I keep that in mind. So once we've got our image inserted here that I created, pretty simple from Canva, my next part is going to be a video. And so I went ahead and I have this link here from YouTube. I like to have either an image or a video up top because it draws the attention. And in this case, we were talking about our IT professionals. So I'm going to go to this insert video. I'm going to paste the link, insert, and then there it is, talking about celebrating IT professionals. So from there, we're getting into our text portion of this part. And so the reason that we have this image, or in this case, a video up front, because the very most important thing that I wanted people to know, kind of what I call tier one information, is that we're celebrating IT professionals. It was recently National IT Professional Day. And so I wanted everyone to know that if they're going to look at my newsletter that I'm creating, I want them to know that right away. So do you want to keep the format or clean it up? Let's go ahead and keep it as is. All right. So as we get into our text portion, I've got this important part here that's the top of my text. So I wanted to make that bold so that it stood out for the title. And then I've got some information about our IT professionals. This is just a basic paragraph form. So move on from there. You could do this, just typing in your browser. And if you wanted to make that bold, you could go right there. Everything's bold or everything not. Make that bold. So make sure we got that there. And then we'll go to our next part, which for me, I've got recurring themes that come from our BCSC strategic plan that I try to hit each week. And so sometimes that will be in my top tier one. Other times it will be here right afterwards. So I've got my most important thing that I want everyone to read up front. And then I'm going to go straight into the things that we're working on with our strategic plan. And so again, I've got healthy, safe, and welcoming environments, and people read that, But how do we show that? And so we're going to use an image. So for this, I'm going to go to our homecoming information. So I want to show that for homecoming, we've got a couple of different high schools that are represented here. Obviously, in addition to Columbus North and Columbus East, we have CSA New Tech, but both of these schools are represented with our homecoming information. So we're going to use this graphic that I created in Canva, and we're going to go into our text portion. And sometimes you're going to write this information from scratch. Other times, like this, we're going to curate information, which I got from the Bulldog Alumni Association. Shout out to them. So I'm going to copy that. Come back over here. Keep that. Sometimes you'll notice that you have to kind of play around with the spacing. And that's something that I've kind of gotten used to, but at first it might be a little bit frustrating, but just keep in mind this is important information that you're trying to get to everyone. So I'm going to make a couple of things bold here. I'm going to underline this because it's the top of something. And then I'm going to bold because it's Columbus North. And then I also have some additional information about Columbus East. So I'm going to space that out a little bit. All right, so I've got Columbus North there. And we're going to go find Columbus East. All right. I'll paste that. And I'm going to bold Columbus East. So then we've got our information that falls under this category for me. And next we'll go back to, all right, so our next area is excellence and high expectations. Keep that. And so excellence and high expectations, that sounds great when you're telling somebody about that, but I'd like to show. And so I created this graphic. In its original form, I was given a flyer. So then I used part of that graphic. Then I went into Canva and made that. The size that I use is YouTube thumbnail. It's a widescreen graphic, and I like that because it covers the whole screen. So now we've got our Girl Up information. You will notice that here it says to sign up, please use this form here. In a newsletter, you just want some brief information that people can get and then take action on. You either want them to know something or you want them to do something. And so this case, I want them to know about this opportunity for our 5th and 6th grade young ladies throughout BCSC. And so I want them to see a graphic and then know some information, and then to sign up, I added a link here. And so in order to do that, you'll use this insert link, and then I highlighted that. And then here's some information. If people want to have any questions or they need some additional information, these are the people that they can reach out to. So moving on, back to my area here. So we're going to talk about pathways to success. And this is a pretty cool one. In addition, all this is great information. So in our pathways to success, we've got iGrad. And so once again, people don't necessarily know about iGrad if they've never been a part of the program. So I want to show this through a graphic. So I'm going to do that here. insert the image, and I've created this with Canva. So here are some of our high school students. And so I've got the visual of the program iGrad. Then I've got information about iGrad. And so that shows the community that we're trying to do everything we can to help our secondary students to graduate. So that's just highlighting our pathways. That's part of our strategic plan. So next, going back here, I always like to include other information. For you, that might be dates coming up. That might be just something that doesn't fit into the clean categories that you want to highlight on a recurring basis. So I've got other information, and in this case, it has to do with eye care. So once again, I'm going to insert that graphic, and I'm going to make it wider. And then, okay, so I've got that in place. All right. And then again, you'll notice that I've got some areas that are highlighted in our burgundy color. Depending on which building you have, those brand colors will be available to you. So we use this color. Whenever I highlight it, it'll turn into burgundy. And if people want to find out more information about eye care, they can go here, or they can apply there. And then next, I'm going to insert a resources graphic. Make that bigger. And then there we go. So you'll notice that we have kind of a combination of images, text, and links. We also have a video here, and then a branded graphic at the top. I also want to show you a really cool feature within our images. So there's something called alternative text, and this is very, very important for anyone who is reading or viewing this information, so that they can have the most accessible experience. And so I'm going to add an alternative text. So this is a slide highlighting homecoming information about Columbus North and Columbus East. And so if someone is viewing this or having this read to them, that will have some alternative text so that it'll be the most accessible for everyone. So again, I can do that here. A slide highlighting Girl Up, a STEM event in ECSC. So then you update that, and then it's accessible to everyone. So this is a great tool, and try to make it as simple as possible. Slide highlighting iGrad, a ECSC program. All right. So you'll just continue to do that. And then once you're done, you will notice that if you want to edit any of the translation, you can do that. I generally just leave it there. Cool thing about ParentSquare is that regardless of the language that people are reading this in, which they can choose in their user preferences, you type it in the one that you're most comfortable with, and then it will translate for them on their own end. So then, for me, I want to send this to everyone. And so I will select BCSC, and then it'll show different notification options like send at user preferred time, which I think is the most appropriate for a weekly e-newsletter. If it was very important information that you need out now, you would do send instantly. I wouldn't recommend using do not notify, because then they might see it if they scroll past it, but more than likely they won't get it. So a really cool thing I love here is that you can either post now, you can schedule it in the future, you can save a draft if you want to come back to it, or my best friend, preview. So I'm going to select this preview. And once it stops scrolling, you will notice that it says this is a preview of your post on the web. For email, text, or app notification preview, click to receive a text. And I do this every time before I send my weekly e-newsletter because I want to see how people are viewing this on their phones. So I'll push send me a test, and then it sent it to me. The great thing is you can continue to edit. And so if you messed up and you noticed, oh, my spacing is off, or, I forgot a word, I misspelled the word, you can go back and then correct that. And then once you are done, you can go and do your subject here. So for me, I'm going to put the date, sent out CSC newsletter 7, and homecoming season is here. And then you will notice you can select who should see this. I will send this to everyone because there's something for everyone here. I would recommend, if you're doing a newsletter, it's for staff and parents definitely, but something like this I think applies to students. If that's a secondary level, you might want to put students as well. And you'll notice that these are their different preferences: instant, digest, students or instant and digest, and then you will post now. And so that is how I create the weekly e-newsletter for BCSC. If you have any additional questions, comments, thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach out at Burnett, BURNETTJ, at bcsc.k12.in.us. I hope this has helped you as we navigate this great tool in ParentSquare and create e-newsletters that everyone loves to read. Thanks.